Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Sacramento City Council. Would Ms. Cuppy, the clerk, please call the roll to establish a quorum?
Thank you. Councilmember Ashby, Councilmember Warren, Councilmember Harris, here. Councilmember Hanson, Councilmember Carr, here. Vice Mayor Jennings, here. Councilmember Guerra, here. Councilmember Schneier, here. And Mayor Steinberg.
Here. Thank you very much. Let us begin with, of course, the Pledge of Allegiance. I would like to welcome the Air Force Junior ROTC Unit California 811 from Hiram Johnson High School. And I know Councilmember Guerra, why don't you properly introduce the folks from your district?
We're going to allow them to do the colors first, and then we'll introduce them
afterwards. And we'll do that.
afterwards.
Okay, let's start with the colors. Everyone, please rise.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Colors, turn, hearts, 1, 2, 3.
If only the chambers were this quiet all the time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And actually, if we could have them come on back, they'll be chasing their colors. And while they're chasing them, we'll continue the meeting here. But I do want to recognize our Hiram Johnson Air Force ROTC Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Cameron Gonst, Cadet Major Williams Frisbee, Cadet Captain Christian Kunzel, Cadet Second Lieutenant Alejandro Fimbers, and we will see them also at this year's Veterans Parade. This coming up, is it this Saturday? This Saturday as well. They do a fantastic job, and we have one of our own directors here, but they're part of the Air Force Junior ROTC, and would like to say a couple words on behalf of your students, and we'll bring all the students. Come on back if we can get our ROTC students here too. But you could say.
First, I'm Master Sergeant Ryan Peterson, the instructor from Hiram Johnson Air Force Junior ROTC. I want to thank Mayor Steinberg and the rest of the council members for giving us the opportunity to present the colors. It's a huge honor to represent our school, Hiram Johnson, and Councilmember Guerra's district to present the colors in the council tonight. So thank you very much.
And the ROTC not only do they have a great program, but they've been volunteering throughout the district. They go to all our community functions. They help at the movie nights, and these high school students have been very visible in just showing what the best that Hiram Johnson Warriors have to offer there. So let's give a big round of applause to Master Sergeant Ryan Peterson and Unit California 811 ROTC Air Force.
Thank you. Thank you again for the honor, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Hiram Johnson High School. It's great high school. District 6. Thank you, young people. Okay, let's... Close to District 5. Close to District 5, by the way. I'd like to turn it over to Councilmember Warren for another special presentation. Councilmember Warren.
Very good, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much. Several years ago, I had an opportunity to meet a young man here in town that was doing some incredible things, not just here in Sacramento, but all over the country and, in fact, all over the world. And ironically enough, I had seen him before on TV performing, and I really it didn't stick with me that he was Sacramento's own. And got a chance to, we met on the golf course, had a chance to play a few holes and had a chance to talk a little bit. And what really struck me was, you know, the humility, the commitment to Sacramento, and also of a young man who started off doing some things, and his father really helped him to really hone his craft, and it's turned out to be essentially a worldwide phenomenon. And what he's done with that is he's taken it all over the world to do good and to raise money for nonprofits and to really, I think, help to heal people in different parts of the world. And so tonight is going to be a little bit special for one of our local artists, you guys, Mr. David Garibaldi. So please give him a round of applause. And David, a lot of these people came here because of you tonight. So I want to acknowledge, you know, a couple of people, and then we also have a short video clip. I think it's about 1 minute or so that we're going to tee up. But also, I wanted to acknowledge another gentleman I've known a long time who came out to support Mr. Garibaldi. We grew up playing sports against each other, and he went on to tremendous heights. One of the few people in Major League Baseball history that has hit 50 home runs in one season. So, Greg, would you stand up, please? Greg Vaughn, you guys give him a round of applause. And in addition to that, another iconic name in our region, you all knew his father, and a lot of us know the son now that's really taken the reins, and the family has been committed to Sacramento for a long time. And in fact, found out through Mr. Buzz Oates that he knew my father some 50 years ago and told me a little story that really stuck with me. And so you guys, please give Mr. Phil Oates a round of applause as well. And so now we got a couple of presentations, but we'd like to just show a quick video. So this is should be a 1 minute or 2 minute video. David Garibaldi, you guys. Give him another round of applause. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read a resolution from the city that we're going to give you, and then the mayor has something extra special for you as well. So the resolution reads, it says, recognizing artist David Garibaldi, world-renowned performance painter. Whereas world-renowned performance painter David Garibaldi calls Sacramento home and echoes this line at his sold-out performances all over the world. My name is David Garibaldi, and I am from this great city of Sacramento. And whereas David grew up in Sacramento and began his career in 2003 by setting up to paint at weekly local urban jazz sessions at the local Fox and Goose pub, and whereas in that same year, David began his performance painting by doing weekly shows at Empire Nightclub, now known as Ace of Spades, where he created images through his body movement and brushes while communicating via music to an amazed audience. Whereas David in 2011 had a breakthrough year hosting sold-out art performance productions at the local Crest Theater and eventually competing on the 7th season of America's Got Talent, eventually placing 4th in that competition. Whereas David has performed for Fortune 500 companies, including AT&T, Intel, and Disney, and has been featured at charity events for the NBA and celebrities like Snoop Dogg, Santana, Tommy Lee, Dave Navarro, and Blue Man Group. And whereas David has raised over $3 million for nonprofits and charities across the country through his art, he works closely with charities such as Special Olympics, Echoes of Hope, the Sacramento Children's Home, and World Vision. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the City of Sacramento that we do hereby recognize David Garibaldi as a world-renowned performance artist and commends him for his artistic contributions, generosity, and philanthropy, not only to Sacramento, but to all over the world. And with that, I'd just like to say, David, I mean, what you're doing is setting an example for a lot of people, a lot of young people. And I meant what I said about the things that you do, you touch people. You know, I've seen you perform and had a chance to get to know you over the years, and I think you're bringing a real healing quality to our community, and I know you're going to continue to do it. And I also know that you got good people in your life, like Brandon Wells, who was really really instrumental in trying to make sure that this city acknowledged you. And so I think it should be noted that not only you, I know your wife and your family and everybody's really proud of you, man. And I would just say continue doing what you're doing, continue to make Sacramento proud, and continue to lead. So thank you very much, David.
Thank you so much, Alan. And I do have something in addition to the resolution I want to add, but I want to hear from the council members first who are signed up here. Councilmember Harris.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So, David, I've seen you perform several times, and it's always a thrill to see you do your performance art. But what I wanted to do was thank you for supporting a group in my district that's near and dear to my heart, Women's Empowerment. You did several paintings for them that night. Each one was stunning. But what a great organization to support. You've got a big heart, man, and you do represent Sacramento very well, so thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Vice Mayor Jennings.
Thank you, Mayor. Years ago, I grew up with an idol by the name of Muhammad Ali. And my nonprofit organization had the privilege of bringing Mr. Garibaldi to a fundraiser for us. And he did several pieces. But the piece that I didn't know that he was going to do was the piece of Muhammad Ali. And that piece ending up in my home. And I am a proud owner of a Garibaldi piece, the Muhammad Ali piece. And especially since he has passed on, it's even more meaningful for me. But for a kid who grew up with a little bit of confidence, Muhammad Ali gave me a lot of confidence. And when Mr. Garibaldi did that piece at our fundraiser that night, my eyes blew up. And then when I found out it was for me, it made it even more special. So he has touched my heart as he has thousands and millions of others. And I just want to personally thank him in front of everyone here tonight for this great honor for him. It is well deserved.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Ashby.
Yeah, this is a good one, Councilmember Warren. Thanks for bringing him in. This is good stuff. You know, like Mr. Muhammad Ali is to our vice mayor, I mean, in my district, the experience I have with you is not with you at all. It's with a 15-year-old girl named Addie, and you are her hero. Taught performance art by her dad. She
does what you do, and she does it to try to also help. In this instance, she came out into the district and painted a piece of artwork. You guys have all seen it. It's outside of my office door right now in City Hall. It's called the Tree of Life. But she wants to be like you when she grows up. And I think it's the biggest compliment anyone could ever pay this little 15-year-old girl, right? She does these paintings in every talent show, and that particular painting she did raised 400 bags of food that went to the Sacramento Food Bank last year, just trying to be like you. So I know you're very proud of being from Sacramento, and I hope tonight you walk away understanding, recognizing that even in this, bureaucratic dome of a building in the middle of the city, that we are exceptionally proud of you as well.
Thank you. Councilman Hanson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. David, we're lucky to have you on our street where your studio is, but there's never a doubt when you see a piece, whether it's yours or not, because your work is iconic. I think the process that you have is remarkable, but many people have said your commitment to the community surpasses all of that, because every time a charity asks, I know that you try to do what you can, but you've also created an opportunity, and in our region, it's unique because not a lot of our community understands the importance of giving back. We give at a much lower level to philanthropic causes than other regions like us. So the example you're setting for young people and for a lot of others in the community hopefully means that your investment of time and energy has been multiplied many-fold because of the example. So thank you for that.
Councilman Guerra.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. What can we say? That you've made a name for Sacramento. You've brought us even further into the light, not only here in the country, but internationally. And I also want to, just commend you for your contribution and your donation of your artwork recently for the efforts that Sacramento's been doing to help our fellow Americans in Puerto Rico. And, and I think the fact that you've highlighted the need for us as a city to help them as well through their travesty that they're having, greatly appreciate it, and thanks for helping us out again, for not only here, but even our fellow Americans out in the island.
Councilman Chenier.
Thank you, Mayor. So I guess I'll be sending you some dates and times of charities that we'd like you to come to in Oak Park and some of the other. I just want to say you really epitomize the type of person that we want, the creative class that we're trying to attract to Sacramento and hold here. As our young people grow up, we want them to stay. We want them to look at you as a role model. So like Rick had Muhammad Ali, young people should have you, as Angelique said. So I just want to say thank you. Keep doing what you're doing, and we're really proud of you. So, and Greg, same thing. It's been wonderful. It was wonderful watching you play, and we have lots and lots of hometown heroes here. We got a whole bunch of them standing in the back doing other things, so we just want to continue to recognize them.
What Jay is really thinking and not saying is that the Dodgers could have really used you in Game 7.
You win a few, you lose 4. What can you do?
Councilman Carr.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. David, I have seen your work. I have been in the audience to see you perform. It's absolutely amazing how these pictures develop from splashes of paint. It's amazing. There are some kids in South Sacramento who would love to see you perform and to put on something. Councilmember Jennings tells me he has your contact information. I'll be contacting you.
Mr. Warren also has it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And I'm thinking here as I'm listening to all these wonderful and deserved comments. This week, the city council and the city management, we awarded $500,000 worth of grants for the creative economy out to the neighborhoods. And as Councilmember Hanson and I were out at the event, we're amidst all of the people, and a lot of young people of all ages, but a lot of that raw energy. We talked a lot about arts education. And I know I asked myself, how many, and I'll ask it now, how many David Garibaldis are out there in the neighborhoods waiting to be discovered? How many? And can our little spark, our investments, help young people think that they could be like you someday? So you're really an incredible role model. I don't know how you do it. I've seen you do your work. It's just like an incredible, amazing talent. And we are very proud of you. So in addition to the standard resolution, we'd like to give you a key to the city. But the only thing is you have to paint it, okay? Congratulations. Come on, we'll come present this to you. Okay? We have not met.
I know. This is what a way to meet.
Here's our
I gotta say,
a little key to the city. Why don't we gather here for
thank you. You guys come on up. Brandon, come up. You guys want to come up? Everybody is here for Dave. You guys want to come up too? Come on.
Can we get you guys to come in a little closer? Act like you like each other. There you go. Thank you to see it. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
This one as well. 1, 2, 3.
See ya. God bless.
Congratulations.
Well, all right. From one great presentation to another, and one that maybe is, well, is very different and even more profound. You know, one of the things we know about the men and women who work in our police and fire departments, who do this form of public service, is that they are ready at the call, anytime, anywhere, and any place. And they have a big responsibility here within the city of Sacramento. But when others from outside of Sacramento are suffering, they never hesitate. They always respond. They always help. And so we all know what happened with the devastating California wildfires in the month of October. 300,000 acres burned, over 8,900 structures destroyed, and 43 people killed. And so it's with great pride tonight that we recognize the men and women of our fire and police departments here. As part of the California State Master Mutual Aid Program, 20 Sacramento Fire Department personnel were deployed to fight the fires, 7 dispatchers, 4 sergeants, 21 officers from the police department, 3 GIS staff from the IT department, and 2 public information officers from solid waste and the city manager's office. So it's not just the men and women in uniform, it's so many others from the city family who proudly call themselves public servants. 16 firefighters went out on strike teams, staffing 4 fire engines. 4 other firefighters went on to staff overhead positions. These are 14-day deployments. This wasn't just showing up for, a day or a night and saying, we did our token part. This was very, very significant. And so you don't ask for our thanks. And I bet, you're probably a little bit, maybe even embarrassed, like why you're recognizing us, because we're just doing our job. But it's really important that we say thank you on behalf of the people of Sacramento for thinking beyond our own boundaries and borders, and for thinking about humanity and people who really have suffered, and for being there for them. So please, we have Chief White, Chief Hahn. I think you're here, and I see the men and women in uniform who represent those who did all this extra duty. Please come on down so we can say thank you to you. I'll allow any, come on down, and please feel free to, representatives, take the
You tell us what you did. We'll just do it.
Any member wants to speak?
I'll start. Exceptionally proud of our public safety team all the time. In the amount of time that I've been on this council, and Councilmember Chenier, we have seen many strike teams come and serve from our region. I know that the Urban Search and Rescue team has made quite a name for themselves. They're known. New York, 9/11, Katrina, Seattle landslides, Florida, Hurricane Sandy. There's always a Sacramento presence, and the one that got me recently was Las Vegas, and it was fire. 911 operators went to Las Vegas and helped, and it never ceases to amaze me where you guys show up, not just in Sacramento, but all around the country whenever you're called to just be there and help, and we're just so proud of you, and it's just a night like tonight is just a reminder to you that you mean so much to us, and you make us so proud. And I know that as you go out and you're wearing those Sacramento uniforms, whether you're in New York or New Jersey or Washington or Louisiana, we're there with you too, and we're super proud of what you are bringing across the country from our little corner of the world. Thank you for everything you do every single day.
Councilmember Carr.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. I just want to say I had an opportunity to drive some of the area above Napa, above Silverado, the Patrick Fire. It is a very rugged area. I can't imagine fighting a fire in that situation. And I have friends that were visited by the police department, told to evacuate. They were able to get out and save themselves and their relatives and their pets. So this was a Herculean effort. It was the most rugged terrain you could imagine to try to fight a fire in, and especially when the winds were blowing at 40 miles an hour, embers were flying a quarter of a mile away. The people of that area thank you, and we thank you for what you do every day. Thank you much.
All right, Councilmember Hanson.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. We've had so many tragedies in the last few months, it's almost hard to fathom, from Mexico to Puerto Rico to what happened in Houston, certainly the man-made tragedy in Las Vegas, and then what happened in the North Bay. It was a couple weeks ago, we were at the Pioneer Mutual firefighter plot in the Historic City Cemetery. The winds were blowing strong at the very time that many of our fire and police and even, I know we have solid waste here, Aaron Treadwell, as you're trying to help them. And it wasn't lost on us there as we were honoring those people who had been injured in the line of duty or lost their lives in the line of duty, that as those winds were blowing through the cemetery, that we had put our own folks on the line. And you had volunteered to go to those places to help those communities, it really is a testament to who Sacramento is, the power and the generosity of our people as a city, but also your courage as people who want to serve the public through thick and thin, through literally flames and destruction. And so I just, on behalf of a grateful city and a grateful council member, I want to say thank you.
Councilman Magetta.
Thank you, Thank you, Vice Mayor. I get the pleasure of working with you guys and see all the work you do in our district and our community now here. But it even gives me more pride when I hear from good friends like my good friend Kathy Rodriguez, whose family was in the affected area, and to hear that our own Sacramento personnel is out there as well. It just reinforces all of the great work that you guys are continuously doing, not only here in Sacramento, but amongst all our neighbors in the surrounding areas. So thank you again all for our City of Sacramento personnel who helped us out.
Anyone else? Councilmember Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. I just wanted to say, that, it's really unimaginable, some of the things that you guys have to see and do, and I don't know that we can thank you enough for the work that you do in representing our city, but also in keeping our city safe and helping to spread the good name of the city of Sacramento. So thank you very much.
So I'll just close in saying that, from my point of view, sitting here looking at each one of you from this point, you become my local hero. You become a person that I look up to, that I admire, that I want my kids to grow up to be just like you, to be brave, to be courageous, to put your life on the line in order to take care of others. And so you fill my heart with pride when I look at you and for all that you've done to help others and to put your life on the line and your family's lives on the line in order to accomplish what you do. So just on behalf of the entire city council and the entire city, we can't thank you enough. We can't say thank you enough, but you are our hero, Sacramento heroes. Big round of applause, if you will, please.
I'm going to take the rest of it. Thank you. It's worth a lot. Yeah, let's get, I basically read it earlier.
Got it, okay,
Just
perfect.
On behalf of everybody.
Sure. On behalf of the Sacramento Fire Department and the Sacramento Police Department and other city employees who responded to these wildfires, I'd like to say thank you to the City Council, the Mayor, Vice Mayor. We appreciate your recognition. As was mentioned by the Mayor before we started, all of us obviously signed up to do this. We go to work knowing that as part of the state master mutual aid program, we can be called away. As the Mayor mentioned, most of the people standing up here probably feel like they are just doing their jobs when they respond. But we are grateful for your recognition, so thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody come this way so we can be with the...
You want to stay up here? Yeah.
Here we go.
We'll stay up here.
Josh, you get up.
No, you stand in front with us. Yeah.
Daryl, stand on top of this. If you fall, there's plenty of people to catch you. It's like a trust fall.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Why are the chief?
You didn't do it to get out of that community meeting, did you?
Mayor, your chief is out there.
Chris, get in the picture. Chief Hahn, picture? Come on. Chris, come on. Chris, get in the picture.
Why you got like papers hanging out of your shirt?
Shouldn't white be?
He's a busy guy.
Yeah, he's busy.
You got Honda and you don't have white in? You want white in?
Yay.
Thank you. Chris, thank you. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. No, thank you. Thank you so much. I always wanted to be in uniform. I wasn't willing to put in the work like that, but I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Did you
Okay, we'll do the closed session report.
We have nothing to report, Vice Mayor.
No closed session report. Let's go to the public testimony on items not on the agenda, please.
Mr. Mayor, I have 12 speakers for items not on the agenda. The first is Kristen Perry, then Robert Coplin, and then Lorraine Frias.
Hello, everyone. I missed last week coming up and speaking to you again on the homeless shelters and how I keep pushing for smaller shelters, integrated shelters, sustainable shelters, because it was Halloween, obviously, and I was spending Halloween, my first Halloween in District 2. We had hundreds of kids come by the house. I have never seen so many kids in Halloween in my life. We had 5 giant bags of candy. We actually had to make an emergency candy run in order to get the rest of the kids' candy. So it was really an exciting moment. A couple of days later, that's why I'm kind of here tonight. I was taking the RT train from the Arden Del Paso station, one of my stations, the station I normally use, and was on my way to work, and a whole group of children got on the RT bus, or on the RT train. And, I watched them come in. There were about 30 of them, probably about 4th grade, and there was a guy sitting, who appeared to be mentally ill, not really well taken care of or whatever, and he insisted that the children sit in his seat so that he could actually face them frontal and while they sat down in their chairs. Now, the teachers really kind of moved towards this and separated them out, but I became very concerned as well, and I really hope that's not part of the future of over-concentrating people. There was an article that came out in Comcast about the River Center having too many social services in the one area, and I just don't understand how you can think about putting an over-concentration of services now, in North Sacramento. I know we're looking at that property. I know you're looking at regional transit use, but I am very concerned and having that situation being multiplied and to no end if that goes through. So anyway, I thank you for hearing me, and good luck next week. I'm out of town working, so I won't be able to speak. But again, we're all in this together, and I really hope you think long-term about the future of all residents of this city. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony.
Our next speaker is Robert Coplin, and then Lorraine Frias.
Robert?
I was at the County Board of Supervisors today. I wish Mayor Steinberg was in your spot, or Vice Mayor Jennings is that right now.
I was
I'd
there.
like to thank him for it.
I was there. You can thank me.
I'd like to thank him for the agreement they made between the city and the county for the whole person care.
Uh-huh.
But now I got, we need more affordable housing. We need lower rent in Sacramento, because that's going to drive a lot of the homeless population to become homeless.
Okay.
Or not get a place because they can't pay the rent. And my final thought for today, I'm going to keep it short. I am really seriously depressed on how the anti-camping ordinance trial went. I think it should have gone the other way, so the Sacramento City can get rid of the anti-camping ordinance, because it is discriminatory against the homeless population. And if you go to, let's say, the Golden One Center and camp, say, for a Lady Gaga concert, you're not going to be harassed by the police if you stay overnight and wait in line. If you want to be the first one in line for a ticket, you're not going to be harassed by the police. But if you're homeless, even on private property, you will be harassed, your gear will be confiscated, and you may go to jail, or at least get a ticket. I think that's totally wrong. This was not my original comment for today, though.
Okay.
I'll make that next week, because I have too much time left.
So Robert, because I don't know that you properly thanked the mayor for what he did today.
I think it was a small step in the right direction.
Okay. So no, I interrupted you.
It was a small step in the right direction, but Sacramento City and the county should do a lot more for provide more affordable housing in Sacramento.
Thank you. Okay.
And next speaker is Lorraine Frias, and then Ishtal Madrigal.
Hi, my name is Lorraine. I'm with Indigenous Peoples Day Coalition. I am just here to still say that we're not stopping. We would like to see it on the agenda. In regards to disaster relief, we've had our share of disasters 520 years ago with eradication and removal and complete genocide of indigenous peoples, and I ask you for some disaster relief. Councilman Guerra, we've been patient. We've been saying that we're going to meet with the Italian community to come to some type of compromise or discussion. That was over 2.5 months ago. We're ready. We're willing to be at the table, and we feel like we're being stalled out right now. So I don't know if you could respond to what the holdup is. Is it per your request, or is it per the Italian community's request to have this meeting? But we feel that we're ready to continue with action. And can you respond to my question?
Yeah, this is your opportunity for testimony. So if you want an appointment, we can always set that up with his office where you can respond in more detail.
We'll set it up again.
Okay.
And then again and again. But we were also told that if we remained quiet, that we might get further along. But we've remained quiet for over 520 years, and we're not going to remain quiet. So maybe we'll see you at the front doors, maybe we'll see you inside the building, but we will see you. Ometeo.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next speaker is Ishtel Madrigal, and then Pastor Joan Lewis Kennard.
Projector, please.
Turn that over for us, please.
I'll turn it over in a second. Okay. Thank you. The old world is dying and the new world struggles to appear. It is in this time monsters are born. Antonio Gramsci, early 20th century Italian political theorist. Historic cultural myths, like the Columbus myth, are fictions created to uphold the current social order. These myths skew our collective vision of the past and perpetuate further myth creation. Sometimes these myths are symbiotic, living and feeding off of each other. Myth begets myth. This month, as our children draw turkeys and reenact friendly encounters between natives and pilgrims, remember these are fictions that hide the real story of displacement, broken treaties, and genocide. The genesis of Thanksgiving Day begins in May 1637, when armed pilgrims invaded a Pequot village and set it on fire. Then they hunted down natives, including children, to kill them. After this massacre, the governor of the colony proclaimed it was a day of Thanksgiving, as he thanked God because he had eliminated over 700 native children, women, and men. This November 23rd, remember you are celebrating a fiction that feeds into a slew of other fictions that attempt to deny the dystopic nightmare. But also remember, we are here at a historical precipice. We have the choice to become weavers of truth, to be catalysts towards creating an equitable society. Indigenous Peoples Day is part of this process, and that can help shift the historical narrative towards truth. Let us not be afraid of this new world, because it is the path of liberation for all of our relations. Hakin chohih, shahalanu ke aslemal.
The next speaker is Pastor Joan Lewis Kennard, and then Mary Tapple.
Anyway, good evening, Mayor and Vice Mayor, and council members and everyone. Pastor President Trump, CEO, how are you today? I'm not a fan of yours when you are bothering North Korea. Do you watch Let's Make a Deal and The Price is Right? We are creation. Very happy without you plotting or crying any time or anything about North Korea. No one wants one world government. We don't want World War III, not ever, always, for zillions of years to come. Please leave North Korea alone. No bombs in the Pacific Ocean, Guam, Paradise Islands, and back to them, North Korea. Please leave them alone. Hello, alone. Computer companies, be more sympathetic to senior citizens. One of the computer companies killed a 91-year-old customer trying to learn the computer. She is left without a spouse. B-E-E, sweet, maybe, ask their age. Really, be sweet, B-E, or try to B-E. We do want to learn the computer, and it's the going thing. Communication to the beyond. Poor B-E-E-Bs. Anyway, try to be nice. Thank you for this day and forever. Love you, Pastor Joan. I would kiss you, K-I-S-S. Keep it simple, stupid. Not all of us. I don't love the KKK, Ku Klux Klan. Be sweet or try. Thanks again. I don't love death. Peace.
Thank you, Pastor.
Next speaker is Mary Tapple, and then Pastor Gainsborough.
Hello, Vice Mayor and members of the City Council. I basically am pleased with the overall planning effort for the winter shelter plan for Railroad Avenue, but I'd like to bring up a few things. When you had the Salvation Army, an item involving the Salvation Army, I was reminded of a much earlier year, I think it was the early 2000s, when Sacramento Loaves and Fishes had proposed to expand to the south, to expand Friendship Park in the direction of the Salvation Army. And the reason Mayor Fargo told some of us insiders who've been following the issues that the reason that application was quietly withdrawn by Sacramento Loaves and Fishes was at the time the head of the Salvation Army was very ready and going to come out in public against the expansion of Friendship Park because the Salvation Army's program was being undercut. Specifically, the Salvation Army would require people to not be currently inebriated or under the influence of illegal drugs to be fed and to have the next resources they are being provided for moving on in their lives toward a more productive existence and more fulfilling life. And instead, people would just go to Sacramento Loaves and Fishes who were not following the rules for their Salvation Army program to improve their lives, and they would get the services there without having to reform at all. So I think you should be reminded that all of that good neighbor policy with the Sacramento Loaves and Fishes will have to be strictly followed, as will the safety of the local community around the winter overflow shelter. I have had trouble with some of the volunteers and ad hoc people stopping in the middle of roads with their big vehicles blocking me because they want to talk to their currently still unsheltered homeless friends because they used to be homeless with them. And they don't have any place to go to like me for work, and they have a sense that they have all the time in the world because they essentially do. So, but thank you very much, and please keep up the good work.
Thank you, Mary.
Next speaker is Pastor Gainsborough, and then Mac Worthy.
Pastor.
Mayor Steinberg and Vice Mayor Jennings. Picture here I'd like to project in City Council. Enlarge it if you could, just a little bit. Who should be responsible for the train tracks? Or maybe the better question is, who would be responsible for this little girl, this little child? This picture grabbed my heart years ago. Mayor Steinberg, I saw I watched the whole marvelous, miraculous YouTube of Jordana's story. And I'm so blessed by that, and I'm so pleased by it because I have a similar story in my own life. And I want to say to the City Council, while there's great progress, and I want to commend you, I feel that you were all heroes 2 weeks ago when you voted unanimously on the triage center, on the funding of, I'm not sure how many hundred thousands of dollars for 20 more beds for the youth at risk. They call it TAY in the continuum of care, the transitional age youth, but the foster-age children that 18 are left to fend for themselves, just like this child here. And I remember almost screaming 6 months ago saying we need 100 beds. The city has approved 20 beds. The triage center is a great step, but we've got to get restrooms for the public. San Diego was warned about the hepatitis A epidemic, and they responded too late, and we don't want a San Diego situation here, but even more, as a world-class city, and you are world-class leaders, how can we have the cosecha, which is a Spanish word for harvest out there, to honor Cesar Chavez, and yet dishonor him by having no public restrooms out there? You can do it. It would be less than $50,000 or $25,000. Let's start with Chavez Plaza. God bless you for your...
Our next speaker is Mac Worthy, and then David Andre.
Where to start? Negroes, look at Donna Brazil's and read Donna Brazil's book. That's America Real Negro. We knew she wasn't going to lay down. She on the Democrat side, on the Republican, but those people were raised the same way I raised. You will understand what the woman is about. Truth and facts. That's what it's all about. Because the system is rigged in America. But we want to let that go. We want to go to Texas. You all were down there in Texas not long ago. Some of you were. I grew up in that type of environment in the church. As long as there will be a church of lies, thugs, pimps, and hoes, you're going to have this problem. You have the same problem. When you say, God bless America, the other language says, Allah is good. That's the same thing, people. But you want to fight that guy, and you're saying the same thing. The language was split when it was the same language. God split it to 5. That's the reason they speak that language about that God under their language. As long as you have politics at the church, people, the devil there too. I knew when the church, I still a member of, a lock was put on that church by A.E. Sims, the founder of high school. The judge sent it back. We used to know some people in L.A. stole that money and flew their family to L.A. Black folks, get your act together. You can't make it through the church. You can't make it through politics, economics. You got to talk about economics, people. Go with economics. Now is the time. We are pushing close to another world war, civil war right here in America. When a crime is committed, you never chase nobody because they got a law said you're taking the law in your hands. So be aware. Understand what went on in Texas. We knew when the police going to shoot you, it's a warning shot, but now it's no warning shot. So wake up, understand, ask some old folks some truth in America.
Our next speaker is David Andre, and then Diana Butler.
Hi, good evening, Council. Once again, our streets are paved in blood. We need to make sure that we create laws that elevate Indigenous Peoples Day to everybody in this country, not just Sacramento. But let's start here, let's start now, let's get a resolution passed. I mean, I myself would like to see everybody have their own day, but since this one is all about blood and genocide, we need to change it right away. Another thing, I've been requested to ask about the audio in the lobby. It seems that 2 years ago we paid for a big public address system, yet when we're in the lobby either helping people or we can't get in because there's, it's crowded in here and there's no seating, we can't hear the council meeting. So it would be nice if we could turn that PA on again during meetings so that people in the lobby could help. Once again, I'd like to ask for toilets and drinking fountains. There's a whole lot more people on the streets now, than I've ever seen, and I live on the streets here. A lot of them need help. There's a lot more elders on the streets right now, all of a sudden. And one thing, we're really happy about our homegrown artists here and stuff, but if I was given a key to the city, would that give me a right to camp here? Just something I might do because I'm going to put in for that, a key to the city. Nothing against our homegrown artists, but I think that if we all had a key to the city, we'd be able to get some stuff done. So following me is going to be a lady named Diane. She's an elder woman of color who's on the streets of Sacramento tonight, and she would like to speak to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David.
My next speaker is Diana Butler, and then Larry Folkert.
We have the portable mic for her.
Good evening.
Sorry. Here you go.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. My name is Diana Butler. I'm 64 years old. I'm handicapped. Here.
Hold on a second.
And I
Start
moved
her
here
timer.
August 27, 2015 from San Bernardino County, where I was stalked, harassed, and all my possessions were taken. I came here to talk to the Justice Department to find out why I couldn't get some help from the police force, from the district attorney's office, for anyone. I came here, I got the same thing. No help from the district attorney, sheriff's office, police department. Everything I own has been stolen. There is money in my bank account that I don't know about. There is money that's not mine. My Social Security check is being taken by someone. My food stamps were being taken. And I'm on the street. I had a home. My car, everything has been taken from me. And because I'm homeless, nobody will listen to me. These people put me here. I had a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. They took everything. And I need help in putting these people in jail. The Holden family is the information I got, but the Section 8 office has their real name. And I keep going to the district attorney, they keep throwing me out the door. I keep going to the police department, nobody believes me. I have evidence. Nobody will take my evidence. Now I need some help. And this is the city council. I'm in your city, I've worked in your city, I lost my job here. They run me out of my city into the street. And I'm tired of being homeless and cold. I sleep in front of City Hall every day. And nobody even notices me. So I need some help from somewhere. And because you're homeless doesn't mean that you're crazy, you're stupid, or you're dumb. I might be physically handicapped, but mentally I'm all there.
Okay. So we've got someone from our impact team that can talk to you tonight. Are you willing to talk to them now?
I'm willing to talk to them.
Okay. So if you can get a little help to get towards the back,
And
that
I've
young
talked
man.
to many of your police officers.
Okay.
Sheriff Department.
We're going to take care of it tonight for you. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to City Hall. Thank you for your testimony.
Our next speaker is Larry Folkert, and then Fong Lee.
I want to thank the lady for what she just said. I myself am homeless. I've been back in Sacramento for about 2 years, and I've been homeless the whole time. I can't say that I'm actually a taxpayer here because I no longer work. I'm on SSDI. But I did work here 30 years ago. And the services I got helped turn my life around. I went to Seattle in 1996, and that was a pretty wonderful experience. I worked at the Seattle Art Museum, but more importantly, I got a job working for an agency called DESC. And I know that you do these junkets to look at how different cities are handling homelessness. But if you haven't been to Seattle, you want to go up and look at DESC. It stands for Downtown Emergency Service Center. There was an agency that I went to called Bailey Boucher. I would suggest you check that out. It was the first place in the United States. It was a hospice built specifically for people with AIDS. The first place in the United States. It's a wonderful program. And another one that you should check out if you haven't is something called The Village in Los Angeles, which focuses on people with mental health problems. But I came back here because Seattle is no longer affordable. I came back here in January of 2016, and I've been homeless. I stayed with friends for a while. Some of the programs have not been helpful at all. VOA and all these other things. I'm not a drug addict, I'm not an alcoholic. But I'm homeless and I'm not getting any help.
So Mr. Volker, So your time is up, but is there something that we can do for you
Okay,
tonight?
I want to point something out. Earlier this evening, you had your wonderful new police chief, and he seems to have disappeared. I was evicted from a motel. I was housed under a program called a Part B grant, and I was not able to get out on a Sunday, and I was kicked out, and I've been on the streets since then, and all of my things were thrown away. Everything in the room was thrown away, and the police won't even take a report on it, and they're trying to collect $400 from me for 2 days of staying there.
Volker, would you like for us to help you with your current
I
situation?
would, let me make another point here. Among the things that were thrown away were my medications and my checkbook, my credit cards. I have nothing. The only thing the police would take a report on was my meds. My meds cost $3,190 a month, and that is the only thing they will take a report on.
So would you like for us to help you tonight, Mr. Volker?
They have done nothing else.
Would you like for us to help you tonight, Mr. Volker?
So I would like somebody to do something.
Okay, this young man, this good-looking young man who's walking towards the back,
Yes.
he will be able to help you take your reports, maybe get some of your belongings back. He'll help you in whatever way we can tonight.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
My next speaker is Fong Lee, and then Trina Allen.
Good evening. I'm here to also talk about the issue of homelessness. You sit up there, you set your space, your little safe space away from us so that you can keep yourself distant from the real issue. People come here every week asking for help, as if we're begging for people to help them live. This is a weekly thing, and I've heard that this has been ongoing for 10 years, and people have been coming asking for help. Yes, you do give help to the people that actually have they finally found the courage to come up and talk to you and ask for help. But you know, the people that's actually helping them are the people of Sacramento. You work for us. You work for us. And you make these kind of decisions that can help people, that can change laws, that can change things. I had something that I was gonna talk to you about. I had a speech prepared, but I'm actually here, again, begging on behalf of the people that have been coming here asking for help. We've had our rain last week already. Last night it was 40 degrees. I've had 2 friends of mine that were homeless that are no longer alive because of preventable illness, preventable condition. One was an elder, as old or as young as Miss Diane. Are you paying attention? People are dying. They continue to die because you're able to sit up there and go home, close your door, and you're still safe. These are people with dignity. They have families. They have people who care about them. And you can tell me all the things that you have done to help, maybe in the winter you can serve 1 day of food. But that's not enough. We've had people, I've actually talked to the assistant manager who said that, that I should hold him accountable to that. Last week, he was supposed to do some outreach, pilot outreach. And has that happened? How many people did he outreach to? And I'd like to hear a little bit more about that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
My next speaker is Trina Allen, and then QB Anthony.
I'd like to address the current misogyny of the diocese in regard to childcare. It is incredibly difficult to provide my child with loving care and partake of civic engagement. If this is also a concern for you, as it should be, you would afford the community with an on-site playroom where we can both listen and engage without putting a phone in front of our child's faces. This is not a playroom, and it needs to be. And second, these are in no particular order, but genocide is not a holiday, you all know that. Restrooms now, I can't believe that this hasn't happened. Your anti-camping ordinance and police of poverty is as vile as it is predictable. It is not wrong to be alive and poor, and yet you continue to make it. I'd also like to address the hypocrisy of the commendations tonight. I will not take away from labor provided during moments of crisis, but to congratulate an organization that you refuse to hold accountable for its state violence and terror is shameful. Officers Tennis and Loiza should not only be excised from SAC PD, they should be charged with murder. And if you can't force the hand of Schubert, then you should be publicly calling her out. That is your job. Officers Fong and Figueroa should be fired and charged with their violent crimes as well. To do any less is to coat your hands in Dejan's and Joseph's and Nandi's blood. To smile at them and shake hands with them and to take pictures with them when you don't hold them accountable is disgusting. It is filthy, it is disgusting, and listening and looking at the families of the faces of the people who they have taken, you should know that too, because you've heard them.
And the last speaker for matters not on the agenda is QB Anthony.
City Council, it's been a couple of months since you've seen my face. I was home, and unfortunately, you was honoring some of the men and women who went to my home. Ukiah, Willits, not Fort Bragg actually, Redwood Valley. Those are the places that I call home, and they got on fire. Including Santa Rosa, where it had the most population of land lost or houses lost, and yet you still have the camping ordinance when all these people just lost their home. It's about time you stopped and thought about that, because they didn't do nothing, just like I didn't do nothing or a lot of other people didn't do anything. I came passing through Sacramento about a year, almost 2 years ago now. Got harassed, violated, sent to jail for the first time, not only the first time, but 4 times in my life, and you all know this. Almost got 5 felonies about it because of a camping ordinance that refuses to go away. I am disappointed in that jury that did that. Because you know what? That is my home. Ukiah is my home. And I damn near lost a lot of my friends in that fire. And you sit there and laugh, Jay.
Excuse me.
I'm just talking. You're not paying attention.
Yes, that is my point. You see, pay attention to the people who are telling you something instead of talking amongst yourselves.
Go ahead. You want to talk? Okay, that concludes our public comment on items that are not on the agenda. We will now move to our consent calendar.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Councilman Guerra, were you up on the? No? Okay. Okay. Let's move to the consent calendar. Are there any changes to the consent calendar, Madam Clerk?
Councilmember Harris has asked that item number 6 be pulled for additional comments.
Okay. Item
I have
6.
2 speakers on the consent calendar.
Okay, let's hear from the 2 speakers, and then we'll turn it over to Councilmember Harris.
My first speaker is Mac Worthy on item number 10, and then Pastor Gainsborough on item number 11.
We want to make it clear that I understand you have already made your decision on the consent calendar, but mainly going on records, because we are observing some things here about the parks. We know it's bias in hiring for the parks and recreation. But when you continue make these policies around the park, it gets to be critical. You just came in here with something about the police department. This gives the police department aggressive action just by what you have told them, and no public have weighed in on these things. And I think that is against the Constitution of the right of a person to speak of what they're going to do in the park. But see, you have rigged it because, see, we don't see black folks in the park on jobs, parks and recreation. If they are, they're kids. But see, now somebody doing some virus in here are hiring because most of those folks are agents. The position that pay enough to live off is agents. Why? Because the ignorance of the public not to jam you on this and file the claim that this is discrimination. Because, see, you're getting to a point here that you're going right back to what you said you wasn't doing. And the parks, and you got people here that have came to me that some people in the police department is gaining intelligence from kids is how their families react and what in their household. So you're going to be up the creek without a paddle here if you ain't careful. Because, see, when babies are talking, when the police department are talking to minors, there's supposed to be an adult present at all times. But when you are gathering information about families, you are as low as they can even walk. That's the scum of the earth. So be careful what you're doing here.
Pastor Gainsborough on item number 11.
This one's about Howard, this item 11, deleting the...
Mayor Steinberg, City Council. I printed out all 18 pages of the proposed prior wording and the new wording. Even though I've written a 750-page encyclopedia, I couldn't find enough time today as a responsible citizen to read all 18 pages of the printout to get to the gist of the matter of that there is aggressive and intrusive panhandling or soliciting. And yet, with a crisis of more than one homeless person dying a week, 71 dying last year, which is almost 1.5 homeless people. Of course, maybe they're throwaway people. Maybe they are not somebody's son. Maybe they're not somebody's daughter. Maybe they're not somebody's grandchild, niece, nephew, cousin. Maybe they're not even human beings. 800 died since 2006. 37 seconds left. The Dred Scott decision, somewhere in the realm of 1849, 1851, declared that Dred Scott was not a human being because he was an African American. The Supreme Court approved it. But Abraham Lincoln stood up and said, this is an ungodly law that needs to be repealed. Dred Scott was never repealed. But you have the opportunity to repeal the anti-camping, anti-human, disgraceful ordinance against the poor in this homeless crisis. It was the Third or Fourth Amendment that overrode Dred Scott. But the Supreme Court never stood up and had the chutzpah to stand up against the Goliath of the segregation and the slavery in this country. You need to stand up and be El Gabor, all of you, to be champions and to take the homeless out of jail and criminalizing their poverty and their sad situation. You're helping them, but we've got to overturn this law. Stand up and be champions and overturn it.
Okay, we've got on the consent, excuse me, I'm sorry, it's been moved and seconded, but with the exception of item 6. Councilmember Harris on item 6, or?
Mr.
Well, Councilmember Guerra has a comment on one of the items?
Yes.
On the youth, go ahead. So why don't we go Councilmember Guerra first, okay?
I have a thank you to provide today. You know, I wanted to make the motion, but it's been moved by Councilmember Chenier. Good, thank you. But I do want to thank Assembly member. I was going to say Councilmember Chenier here for item number 1, where he's recommended for an appointment to the Youth Commission, Solana Torres. And Solana, can you please come to the podium real quick? And Solana Torres attends West Campus High School. She's interning in my council office right now.
We're not going to hold that against her.
I hope you don't, but it's okay. And but not only that, but she's the president of the West Campus High School Mecha Club, and she's been engaging in her first fundraising campaign for the club to help other youth out there. And she's also the secretary of the West Campus High School Associated Student Body, and she's well on her way to being, who knows, the next mayor of Sacramento here. So, Solana Torres,
Thank you.
Exactly. So you want to now? It's like, no. But I wanted to again thank Councilmember Chenier and also thank Solana for her service to the city, and wanted to ask her to say just a couple words about her experience at City Hall.
Okay, well, so far I've had a great experience interning in the Councilmember Eric Guerra's office, and I'm really excited for what I'm going to be able to do with the Youth Commission and being able to work with all these amazing people. And I'm really grateful for being appointed, and I won't let the city down.
Very good. All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And with that, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move the question.
So the consent calendar has been moved, and thank you. All in favor, with the exception of item 6, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstained. The consent calendar passes. Let's take up item 6, however, and I'll turn it over to Councilman Harris.
Thank you, Mayor. Is Sherry Smith yeah, there she is. Hi, Sherry. So as my colleagues know, financing infrastructure is often difficult in terms of bringing developments to fruition, and we have a couple of tools in the kit for that. There's SCIP and there's CFDs. And so tonight's item is about sort of broadening the parameters of issues that can be financed by CFDs. And I'm in favor of this item tonight, absolutely. But I wanted to ask, or actually direct staff, you said in the staff report that this is just really the first step in taking a more comprehensive look at CFDs, and you'll be looking at that in the next few months. I had an interesting discussion with people from Tesla today, and we got talking about electric charging infrastructure, and it occurred to me that perhaps that could be included in community finance districts. So I wanted to ask you publicly if that can happen, and if we can bring that back in your report when you come back with more comprehensive look at what CFDs can finance.
Yes, we will absolutely work with the City Attorney's Office and City Treasurer's Office to see how that can work. Again, CFD financing and public infrastructure financing is for public infrastructure, so a lot of it will depend on how it's owned and just the details of that. The devil's going to be in the details, but we will absolutely think about that as we're moving forward with any kind of policy update, but also just with strategies in general.
So, you know, CFD, it's really about attaining our policy goals. So, you know, one is to get more units built within the city and to facilitate that. And as we're designated as a green city, and we have access to funds from Electrify America, I think if you look at the policy goals that we're developing around electrifying our city, that that type of infrastructure would probably fit within our policy goals and the attainment thereof. So if you'd bring that back, I'd be most appreciative. And with that, I'll move item 6 on consent.
Okay, a comment from Councilman Hanson.
Sherry, I just wanted to, since this got pulled off consent, I figured I'd ask since we have a minute. Gray water facilities that are part of CFDs, I know that there was a big barrier in funding that for a recent project. As this is specifically targeted at infill, as we've just come through the drought, are our policies around these type of facilities consistent with the council's sustainability goals to help advance technology to reduce water use, to recycle water, to use gray water? Because it seems like sometimes there's a disconnect.
Well, I know we worked a lot with Department of Utilities on that particular project, and we need to continue to work with them on just a overarching policy with regard to the potential use of gray water and CFD financing to fund that. I think there are ways to do it. We just need to work to figure out those details as well.
Okay. Well, maybe when we move to the next step, and Councilmember Harris is rightfully raising our sustainability goals around electric vehicles, really to look at the consistency of our policies across financing in other areas as well, so that we can really grab the council's sustainability goals and invest them, or sorry, insert them into policies like this. So, thank you.
Okay. So, item 6 has been moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstain. That item passes. Thank you. We now move to the one, well, there's actually two. There's only one action item, and it's item 20. And this is the SHRA Redevelopment Agency budget. Ms. Dozier has estimated that it'd be about a 15-minute presentation. We can then take some questions and decide how we want to proceed.
Okay.
We have one speaker signed up, so go ahead, please.
Okay.
Welcome, Madam Director.
Good evening, Mayor Steinberg and members of the council. I'm Lachelle Dozier, the Executive Director of the Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency. I'm here to present our agency's 2018 proposed budget. Last week, I had an opportunity to really go through and talk about the budget process for the agency. So tonight, I'll kind of hit on the highlights as we move through so that we can really focus on those key issues that I want to make sure we get across. So our 2018 proposed budget is $90.7 million. Here's a chart that really shows, where our money comes from. And as you can see, 84% of our revenues are coming from the federal government. The other 16% are from state and local sources. Our next chart is really showing actually how we appropriate our funds. 53% of that are housing assistance payments. Those are payments that are going out to landlords. Capital projects makes up about 19%. Then you can see the breakdown of salaries and benefits and all of the other categories as well. Our next chart is our multi-year budget comparison. It really shows our budget from 2014 through 2018. So you can kind of see the trend that we've had in our budget that really ranges from 167 all the way up to $190 million. The next charts really focus in on our Housing Choice Voucher Program, and it really shows the statistics in terms of how we really maximize those vouchers that we have on hand. And you can see that we really do work very, very hard to make sure we get as many vouchers out there on the street. So we're at about 97% is our estimate. And then the bottom chart really focuses in on our HAP funding, and that's the funding that's going out to the state, out to our landlords in the program. Our next one is our public housing, and it shows, the actual resources that we received over the past few years to support all of those housing units that we have in the city. There's over 1,600 city units, and then in the county over 1,000. So this is the operating subsidy that HUD gives us to actually own and operate the public housing. Also, we collect rent, obviously, from our tenants. And then in addition to that, HUD also provides us with capital fund, which goes towards the modernization of our program. And as you can see, over the several years, we've been anywhere from 4 to 3, almost 3.98 million. This may sound like a lot, but it really pales in comparison to what is needed to maintain all of those units. Which we have estimated to be over $150 million of capital fund backlog. So with that, I'm really going to talk a little bit more about kind of high-level discussion about what's going on in housing
from the perspective of the federal government, the state government, and where we are at the local level. So at the federal level, things have actually changed even since I put together this particular presentation. With the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that has been presented to the Congress, H.R. 1, there are some provisions in there that will have a detrimental impact on housing. It eliminates the private activity bonds. And what that does, those private activity bonds are what triggers our 4% tax credit program. So in affordable housing, as you know, we have 9% credits and we have 4% credits. And really, that's the only way that we do affordable housing throughout the state and throughout the nation. But now with this new Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, it is eliminating those private activity bonds, which would wipe out our 4% tax credit program. And when you think about that, that's huge. We're talking over 1 million units would be lost of housing across the nation, and obviously would have a huge impact on all of the projects that we do here locally. So we are really tracking this. A lot of our national organizations are really reaching out to members of Congress to let them know the impact of what this will have on our housing market. In addition to that, this particular initiative at the congressional level also causes uncertainty for our 9%. So our 4% program would go away. Our 9% program would have a problem from the perspective that the corporate rate will reduce to 20%. Tax credits are bought up by corporations. If the tax rate reduces to 20%, then we are not sure exactly what the pricing will be or demand for 9% tax credits. So we really are being squeezed on our main source of federal housing when you start to really play with the tax code, which is dependent. So I'm really taking a little bit more time with this so that people understand the impact, that we are in a level of uncertainty. We are pretty confident that it's probably going to move out of the House and that this fight will be at the Senate level. So that is something I will continue to keep you apprised of, but it will determine whether we have the resources necessary to do the affordable housing here at the local level. We are still under a continuing resolution, so we don't have a budget. So what is presented before you is just our estimate of what we think we will receive. That is going through December 8th. All indications are that they probably will not have a budget, and so we'll be going into next year with no budget. Sequestration is still there. That has not gone away. So those are the things that are the challenges at the federal level. Some of the favorable initiatives is our CDBG program still has strong support from both sides of the House. So even though the administration took them out, they have been placed back in. So we hope that that continues. And then there are a couple of programs at HUD that really help public housing authorities do the type of renovations that we need. One is our rental assistance demonstration program that we're looking into. The other one is moving to work status. So rental assistance demonstration really allows us to take our units out of our public housing inventory, which has no debt, and then attract private investors. So those private investors then would be able to bring their funds to really deal with that 150 million backlog that I was talking about. So this is one of the programs that we are in the queue and trying to utilize in our recapitalization and repositioning of public housing. Moving to work status, that's another program that we're highly interested in. Only a select number of housing authorities have been allowed into it, but essentially it gives us total fungibility of our resources. And that would allow us, instead of to be pigeonholed by the regulations in the different silos, is to seamlessly move money back and forth between our programs and create local initiatives based on what is going on here in Sacramento. So we could be very creative in terms of addressing the issues with our homeless population. We could be very creative in looking at, the missing middle, all of these types of things that we know are important here. We would have much more flexibility if we were able to gain that type of status. And so these are things that we will be pursuing. So that's kind of the federal level. Now at the state level, this was a very good year for housing. There were numerous bills that were passed, so we're very excited about that. I'm not going to go into all of them, but obviously Senate Bill 2 creates a permanent source of housing for affordable housing. We have been trying to get this for many, many years, so we're really, really excited that this is a bill that has been passed. And then SB 3 places a $4 billion housing bond on the November 2018 ballot to pay for existing affordable housing
housing programs. So we see that there are resources that will be coming from the state down to the local level. And then at the local level, obviously, we always have to look at what is our part, what do we need to do to make sure that we are leveraging all of those resources at the federal and the state level. So obviously, our production has decreased. Our sources are limited, and we continually are targeted for cuts. So we are working very, very hard to try and come up with what our priorities are, but with a very dwindling source of resources. So we really need to focus on a local resource to address our housing crisis so that now we have this kind of trifecta of housing from the federal, the state, and the local level. Other jurisdictions have been very aggressive in this area because of the affordable housing crisis, have gone forward with different types of tax or bond initiatives to create a local flow of funding. If we have those types of resources, then we have a dependable source of funds that we know that we can use for affordable housing as we go after all of the other types of programs. So housing policy implications, I think we need to start to continue to look at what resources we have under our existing housing trust fund fees. Are there any type of local funds that are needed to access state resources that we need to tweak or we need to change that haven't been changed over many, many years? So those are the types of things that we'll be looking at and coming forward in the future with more recommendations. So, what have we been up to? We have been doing a lot. The River District Twin Rivers project is one we talk about continuously. This is our largest project. This is over $300 million project that will impact all of the families, the 218 units that are there. So the big thing that we are working on is the relocation. We have families that have already found housing and are starting to move, and then we will be moving forward with demolition, hopefully at the beginning of the year, and bringing forward our financing plan back to you within the next few weeks. In addition to that, we have worked very hard within our Promise Zone. It has leveraged $55.3 million over since 2015, and we continue to do this. This was one of the things that we were very concerned about during this new administration. Would Promise Zone survive? So in our conversations, just about all of the Promise Zones really descended upon Washington and talked about all of the benefits that we have gained from this. And we really started to work with those different departments so that they understood as these new administrations transitioned in what the benefit was. And we have to say it was a very successful trip. We got a lot of positive response that this is an initiative that really needs to continually have our support. In addition, on the ground, we work very hard on our community car share. This is where we bring car share program to our subsidized housing communities. We've had a lot of response from our residents, and in fact, they're asking for more of these zip cards to be placed in their community because we know that it addresses the major problem that our families have, and that is transportation. Transportation is really one of the biggest barriers to self-sufficiency. So we want to continue to make sure that we look at those creative ways to provide that resource. Our community nurse program, health is another barrier that our families face. We have a program where we partnered with Samuel Merritt University where the nurses actually come out and they work on site with our families. And some of the nurses, as they talk about it, this is the first time that they've been able to remove themselves from the clinical setting and see what it's like and what are the types of things that our families face. And it has just been a huge, huge success. It's been highly rewarding. It's a win for the nurses because they really actually have a whole different perspective of what that health care needs to look like. And obviously it brings the resources directly to our families where they live. Pathways to self-sufficiency. This is our whole jobs program. We had a $2.7 million HUD grant, and it has really taken off. We have 271 work-able residents enrolled. 70 have obtained jobs since enrolling. So this is just in 2 of our developments. 70 people have actually been able to get jobs as a result of this particular program. We've also brought on site a high school so that people are getting the education and overcoming those barriers, but it has just been a hugely rewarding opportunity. That's one of our residents there who's working at Sellens, and she does a fantastic job. We always go in and say hi to her and pick up some of that great food. Performance Partnership Pilot, this is a program that's working with our homeless youth, and we're really working focusing on those 16 to 24 and providing stability. We have partners who are very enthusiastic, are coming to the table and really excited about how we can be very creative in using this particular grant with all of our local resources to really address homeless issues for that particular subpopulation. Under our grant applications, one of the things that we're going for is a $35 million what's called TCC, or Transformative Climate Communities Grant. We actually submitted our concept paper and were invited to submit a full application. So the good news is that we've made the cut, and we are one of the few communities here in California that is now going to be putting in for this particular grant, which really addresses, all of those types of community-based activities and programs that reduce climate issues, deals with some of the infrastructure issues that we need to target in our Twin Rivers Community and River District Revitalization Program. So this will really continue to support all of the work that's going on in Twin Rivers, and we're really excited that we are now one of the finalists for that particular grant. Affordable housing, this is something that obviously we spend a lot of time and do work on. This really just kind of gives you an idea of how many loans and that we've issued, how many units for rehab, 247, and 106 home buyers have been approved and 122 units renovated. So a lot of activity by our Housing Finance Department in projects throughout the city. Our portfolio managed, so after we put the money into it, we don't walk away from these programs. It's very, very important that we continue to really inspect and go back out and make sure that we hold all the developers accountable for the money that we give them. So over 22,000 units have been financed, and we go out and inspect a sample of those units every single year. So we continue to make sure that they're operating and in still very good condition. Our home ownership opportunities, we've rehabbed 25 homes through our Welcome Home program. 14 of those new homes are also planned for our Del Paso Heights and Oak Park through our vacant lot disposition strategy. And these are opportunities for us to really provide that first-time home buyer who is really struggling to get into the market because of the investors. So this is our low-income homeowners who are using our programs as a vehicle to become homeowners. And then our CDBG program, as you know, provides all kinds of resources for the programs that we operate. This one is just highlighting the zip cars that we have at Alder Grove and Edgewater. But these are also vitally important funds for pedestrian crossings, all types of installations that we do throughout the city. Our next one is our safety net program. So our CDBG, in addition to doing this infrastructure, it really provides a lot of services for our Meals on Wheels program. And so this really helps our seniors who really depend on this particular meal every single day to really meet their meals for the day. So 364,000 meals were served last year by the money that you put in as well as the county. So this is a collaborative effort from both the city and county to support something that's very needed within the community. Our housing programs, this is over 75 years. We're fifth largest housing authority, the 20th throughout the nation. And through that program, we provide rental assistance to over 50,000 people. So this is our public housing as well as our HCV program that we have our staff working throughout. We have all kinds of units that we as a landlord own and operate, anywhere from single family up to huge multifamily developments. But let's focus in on who actually lives in our programs. Who are we serving? The annual earnings for a family of 3 is $13,800. So a family of 3, that's who lives within our program or is within our voucher program. 76% of them are female head of household. 56% have a disabled family member. 28% are seniors, and 45% are families with children. So this really gives you a picture of the people that we're serving, and without the type of resources that we provide, they literally would be on the streets. And speaking of homeless, that transitions into our next slide, which really talks about our 3-year strategy for 1,755 homeless families we serve through our voucher and public housing. So as you recall, this is a very aggressive plan that was approved by both the city and county over a 3-year period. So our goal was to really take a look and see how can we accelerate this program. So what we did is, through the project-based vouchers, we were looking at it over a 3-year. But when we put out our RFP on the streets, we noticed that there was a huge pipeline and a demand. So based on that, we accelerated. Instead of doing it over 3 years, we were able to allocate all of those in 1 year. And that's exactly the same approach that we want to take on every single category here. So even though it shows year 1, year 2, year 3, we want to look at how can we do that faster and quicker, and then assess where we are and come back and make additional recommendations. So that is our goal, is to expedite and speed this up, because we know that these are vital resources that really help to people who are on the streets now and can't maybe wait 3 years, obviously, while we are trying to, get all of these things, implemented. So wherever we can implement quicker and faster, then that's our goal, and that's what we're doing. Our homeless programs, we actually do support a lot of programs through all kinds of resources. We have our Shelter Plus Care program, we have our VASH program, we have rapid rehousing, and obviously project-based vouchers. And through all of those particular programs, we really do provide support both from the city's resources as well as the county for the shelters. We have total bed nights, if you add up all of the nights from just the shelters that we support through this funding, and that's the A Street Men's Shelter, the Detox, the Center for Hope, which is Salvation Army, and our Open Arms, the Hapwa. There's over 94,000 bed nights are allocated each year through those shelters. But we know that there is additional, obviously, need in the community, and we need more capacity. And that is obviously something that, we are working on and is coming forward for fruition through all the other initiatives that you've been approving. But we also have to look at this balance between trying to get new units and also trying to maintain the units that we have. If we look out at all of the units that are currently there that are serving homeless populations, they have operating funds that really will expire over the next 5 to 10 years. So we have to make sure in our planning that we're looking at how do we do that. That's over $1 million annually, and how we can figure out
Let's get a wrap up.
how to operate. We are almost there, and how we can figure out how to wrap those up. How we can figure out how to make sure that those subsidies don't go away. The next one just really deals with our housing policies. So, a lot of work that we're doing there. And then everything that we do has an economic impact. So 283 direct and indirect jobs. So even though we are really focused on housing, it also is a boost to the economy. These are just some of the celebrations of different projects that we've done at Land Park Woods and Colonial Heights. Grid Solar Alternatives is a program that we work with. We have 13 residents that have graduated who now have the certification and can work in the solar industry. Then we also have a picture of one of our residents who graduated from Highlands Community Charter School. So with that, the next ones are talking about other programs that we are supporting homeless families with. This is a one bringing Pathways, which is really reaching out to families who are in need, that we are supporting 60 homeless families. And then the next one really talks about our resident services. And this is our family self-sufficiency program, where we really work very, very hard with people who are in our program so that they can gain the type of resources that they can move beyond their current situation. And that's the same with our resident training program. So with that, these are some of the awards and recognitions, but that is our budget, and I'm available for any questions that you may have.
Thank you very much. Let's hear from Councilmember Hanson. We have Mac Worthy. So, yes, Mr. Worthy, want to take a pass on this one if you wanted to?
This way you should have thousands. You got too much jumbo mumbo in this. A resolution. Didn't the government have a clear-cut policy to whatever you want to put into this, you refer to your policy? People are sad. Now, we got education, we got health care, we got everything in this. We got homeless. I thought the triage thing was the homeless people. You got in this administration. What do you want? Too much mumbo jumbo. Divide this up for it's simplified. Where is the public on these resolutions? It goes right back here to what I was telling you. Get this up. This is what ticks me off, that I go right back to block grants, low-income housing, and unemployment. I heard this 40 years ago, and we still there. They'll do something about this thing because the money going to be cut off from Washington, D.C. Reason I didn't go, I spent my money to go to South Carolina because Tim Scott, to talk to the housing. We ain't got the right guy on housing over there, and I want Trump to know that. He come here want to sign a damn book. We want to get people jobs. We want to know who's going to own this property. Where is the property of this property going? Reason the city upside down, Dale, you know it because the government owned it. When the government walked away, it turned upside down. In the League of California Cities lobbies, 11% of property tax, and you in the hole. Bonds cannot toss us out of the hole. We got houses in Oak Park, you can walk between them and touch each other. People, that's a disgrace. You're going to have fights because that person can hear what I'm saying in my house. You can't cuss a cat without getting hair in your mouth. You don't need that quality. Right there on 37th Street, one was tore down, your bills, a few years ago. Was demolished. The other one across the street in front of me, our family came in and refurbished it. Stop, Dale, and take your hands of this thing yourself because the money's going to get short. You got to come. I'm still waiting on that.
For us to get together?
I'm still waiting on it.
Okay, we will.
And bring your city mayor because I'm bringing somebody from North Highlands that you know along with me, an old timer.
Mr. Gale?
And we can talk. We break bread. Give me a date before Christmas holidays, and we sit down and talk in this because this is irritating.
Time's up, but thank you. I know. I owe you a call.
I get calls on it, and what can I say? Hud, get Hud back in town.
I got you.
I want to talk to Hud.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Worthy. Let's open the public hearing, and let's hear from the members of the City Council. Councilman Hanson.
Thank you, Mayor. Lachelle and team, obviously you've had a long day. I just first want to start with a recognition that in the midst of our housing crisis, we have been doing everything we can to try to provide housing to all levels, whether at market rate, for seniors, that is affordable, for formerly homeless people, but also that your agency has been at the forefront of a lot of it. And without a lot of the work that we've been doing collectively between the mayor, you, the county, we probably wouldn't be as far along as we are. And we started this year working on the homelessness preference for our public housing resources, both units and housing choice vouchers. And over the course of this year, we've certainly sailed into the midst of the crisis. And I think with the leadership of our mayor, not to paraphrase too much Louise Malcott's quote, but we're learning how to sail in these very difficult times. The Jobs Plus grant is phenomenal in my constituents at Marina Vista and Alder Grove. I love seeing them working at Sunlands or some of the other places where I've bumped into them. And so it really is a transformational thing. And those 70 people that have gotten employed glow with anticipation and opportunity every time I see them. We've certainly been, for the ribbon cuttings for our community car share project, and a bunch of other things that are going on. I know too that it's been tough with the federal resource cuts and the anticipated tax credit implications. I'm still hopeful that we can beat that back. And I know hopefully we're coordinating with our city federal lobbyists on that because tax credits is a big part of how we fund a lot of our affordable housing projects in the capital stack. But also just on that front, HUD a few years ago cut funding for shelters and for transitional housing. I don't know if you or any of the other agencies hit hard by the housing crisis have gone back to HUD to see if we can reopen that conversation about funding. But I know as the city looks at a triage facility on Railroad Drive, we don't have a funding mechanism. We don't have a way to fund that $4 to $6 million a year in operating costs. And so that's going to be a really difficult hurdle to cross. And I know I've raised it here prior on a different issue, and I spoke to Congresswoman Matsui about it, but I'd like you and the agency, as you go to DC, as you work with HUD, when there's a housing shortage, housing first is very hard because you don't have places to put people, and we've heard that repeatedly from folks who've come before us. But also, if we don't have funding source for shelters and transitional housing, it leaves us with very little option. So I just appreciate if you look into that as you work on things. The thing, though, that I'd like you to come back on, and I think you're aware of the project at 1717S, which is a collaborative project between CFY Development and CADA. Took a contaminated old plating site and looks to build 159 new units. 40% of those are affordable. 50% of the affordable units, so 20% of the total units, are at 50% area median income, and the remaining balance are workforce at 120% of area median income or below. They have a remaining gap of $4 million, I believe. They've got essentially the rest of their capital stack in place. It's a shovel-ready project, and given that funds were returned from the 800 block that are similar in nature, maybe you can come back to us after meeting with the project proponent, if you're willing to do so,
Absolutely.
and see if we can close that deal and get that housing under construction. Do you think is 30 days sufficient?
30 days is sufficient, yes.
Okay.
We'll be able to report back.
And then the only other thing, I know we got a letter from Region Business about the multifamily lending guidelines, and I skimmed through the budget. I don't believe that's in here. I think that's a different policy conversation, but I know it's something that people are concerned about and want to talk about. After I read the 300 pages, am I right that it is not in here?
The multifamily guidelines we've started that process. If you remember from the audit, that was one of the recommendations that we were tasked to do. In fact, it's our last outstanding. So we started working on it at the beginning of this year, and it's still continuing. So,
But those policies aren't embedded in the budget?
No, we will bring those policies back before you.
That's what I thought. That's
Absolutely.
what I thought. Thank you so much for clarifying that. And with that direction, I'll move your budget and wish you well.
Thank you. It's been moved. Councilman Guerra.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I want to also second that motion for Councilmember Hansen, and also echo the support to figure out how we can close this deal. I mean, I think if anything, as clear as we do have a housing shortage, this is a project that has a mixture of housing options there and the income levels. And not only that, but it's ready to go. It's shovel ready. So want to echo Councilmember Hansen's support on that. Also, I wanted to make sure that on the multi-lending family guidelines that we're working with all our community partners in this area. I have some of the same concerns that were brought up earlier. I know it wasn't, it's part of your state efforts that you're doing, but I wanted to make sure that we start early this year on looking at the San Juan Motel property and figuring out some of the changes in state statute that we can help us better facilitate the use of those parcels that are still within the Rasa property. And then the last thing I'd like to also see is if we can get kind of like a timeline or work plan how we are going to be competitive with, one, the SB2 dollars, and then if the voters approve the SB3 funds in 2018, how are we timing ourselves and what the opportunities are so that we can match or know what our local matches will have to be, and if we have to go to the voters for any kind of local match or have to look for resources for local match. I'd like to see if we can have a timeline so we know well ahead, hey, this is an opportunity we could miss if we don't have those local matches. And along with SB2 and SB3s, also we could look at some of the other strategic growth council opportunities that we might have and what those timelines are. But I, for my edification, and I think also our ability to go out for local matches, I'd like to see those. And with that, again, I'll second the item and glad to support it.
Very good, thank you. Councilmember Harris.
Thank you. Michelle, I just wanted to congratulate you on the TCC grant application. That's very significant, you know, along with the Choice Neighborhoods Initiative grant. You know, all of these things can add up to a successful Twin Rivers project. I'm a little concerned. You said that you think it'll be a $300 million project at this point?
Over 300 million.
Over 300, because it wasn't long ago we were talking about 200 million.
I know.
So apparently the cost has escalated substantially. Maybe we can have a conversation about that offline. You know, SHRA does a lot to keep people at risk in housing. I think when we talk about homelessness, we often forget how much good work is doing to manage a population that otherwise would be out on the streets. I don't think that that's mentioned often enough, how many people we help resolve, you know, in their homelessness issues on an annual basis, which last year was about 1,400 people. We helped self-resolve, and 2,000 people got into housing. You know, we have major successes, but of course it's a capacity issue. This SHRA does a lot in that regard. Councilmember Hanson scooped me on a couple of items here. One is about transitional housing. You know, with HUD not embracing the transitional model, it's put us in a squeeze play, a very, very difficult place, because transitional housing plays a big part in our continuum of care. It works in Sacramento. It's a piece in the puzzle that helps us manage to get people from the streets to successful housing solutions. So if you have any suggestions, you know, about how we can move HUD on that issue, I'm not sure they're hearing the people very well in this regard. It's absolutely true. If we have a 2% vacancy rate, how can Housing First work here? Frankly, it can't. So we're working desperately on the other end to try to get units built across, as Councilmember Hanson said, across the economic spectrum, because it all adds up. But we really have to work on HUD about this. And lastly, I just wanted to echo, you know, the conversation about multifamily lending guidelines and mortgage revenue bond policies. That's a deep discussion, and I'm glad to hear that it's not in this budget. I didn't assume that it was, but you know, those kind of policy decisions are going to be big conversations, and I look forward to those coming back. So thank you for what you do.
You're welcome.
Very good. Councilmember Ashby.
Thanks, Mayor. Lachelle, I am consistently impressed by you and your agency and your team and what you're able to do. In the time that I've been on this council, you've had diminishing resources always, and yet your product trends the other direction. And so I think that's pretty impressive. I don't know exactly how you do it. I also think your agency and your staff, they seem to always have a challenge, some additional challenge that you're always having to deal with in addition to doing the work of SHRA. So this budget, like the others before, it's full. It's full in every corner with trying to achieve these goals. Twin Rivers and the housing component and homelessness and veterans and teens, and you've done such a good job of chasing down grant dollars. And I've had the pleasure of traveling to DC and speaking to folks with you back there, and I say this often, but I just don't think we can say it enough. The reputation that you have provided for this housing agency and how you are received in Washington, DC is no doubt part of the success to how you're able to put together a $300 million project in some of these districts and areas that are greatly needed. I appreciate how you fight, because at the end of the day, sometimes I don't understand the starting point, but housing's so complicated that by the end, I always recognize that what you're bringing back for us is an element of local control. And this mayor in particular understands that so well, right, because he's been at the state level and to be here. And so I know some of the challenges you have ahead of you in the next 6 months or so are, again, an opportunity for you to present to us the best way that we can advocate for our constituency to do housing and to make sure that the control stays with this body. And I appreciate that even in a budget, you watch those nuanced decisions being made. And so I want to thank you for that. And then I wanted to just take 1 second to say that I want to support Councilmember Hanson's request of you, so that you at least hear it from a couple of board members tonight, that
that is a very important project at, I think it's 1717, right? S. Really just critical, great developer, person we all really love and want to work with, want to see him get across the finish line in a timely manner. The 30 days is critical for lots of reasons, as you know. And I'll be excited to see what you come back. And I think I heard you say this, but I just want to make sure I understand that you'll be leading that discussion, but you will be engaging CFY, CADA, and the city, right?
That is correct. We will lead the discussion.
Okay, great. I appreciate that. And obviously, Councilmember Hanson is a champion. And if you need an extra lift, I'll be a phone call away.
Okay, great.
Well, thank you, members. All great comments. I want to add my voice and request to the 1717 project as well. I think it's consistent with exactly what we need more of in the city, and we'd love to give that a boost, please, over the next couple of weeks. So this agency obviously does an incredible amount of impressive work, right, in a number of disparate areas, and all the members have talked about that. I think the challenge, and we've talked some about this in our months together, and at the beginning here is you are a unique agency. Well, not unique, I suppose, but you are both an agency of the city and an agency of the county, and separate reporting responsibilities, and sometimes you get caught in the middle, and sometimes sort of are weak to geographically your agency is separate from the city and the county. And so I do think that we want to continue to work on figuring out, and as I know the city and county are city manager and county executive are talking about this whole issue of governance, so that you get, I think, the benefit. I know it's a double-edged sword, right? The oversight, but also the benefit of even more consistent partnership from the elected officials. I'd like to see that through in the right way, and with your input, and I think that that's all very possible. Today we had a good day today, as you know, and I know you were at the county board, and together between the city and county, we have now $108 million of new resources. In addition to the 755, I don't know what to call them, discrete housing opportunities. And those have an economic value too.
They do.
It'd be interesting to sort of get your opinion about what the economic value of that additional public contribution is, but that isn't the most important point.
It's $10.5 million.
$10.5 million. Okay, good. So we have $118.5 million together. But that's really less important than, I think you know this, how desperately needed you are, and your leadership is needed to make all of this work and work well. And that, we're saying it to our partners in whole person care. I don't mean the county, I mean the healthcare systems and all the providers, is that every old barrier has to get broken down so that we are all working together with the same mission here to make this problem better. And so I know you have your staff as part of the whole person care team and all that, but you personally, with the way you drive the change and the things that you're passionate about, we need you to be like all in on this larger initiative here, because the housing piece is obviously an essential part of it, and it's the one piece, well, we can say we have 1,755 discrete housing resources, and Emily Howell can come forward and say, we can add to that and get to over 2,000, whatever. You're the experts, and so I know some of it's project-based. I know some of it is to ensure that currently housed people don't become homeless, which is just as compelling as alleviating the homelessness. But we need your help because we have an unprecedented opportunity over 3 years to make this difference, and you can do this if you see it as not more important than everything else that you're doing, but something that you continue to be passionate about, but think of it now with this new partnership and what it's going to take to get these people we're outreaching to, we're getting off the streets into permanent housing. That's my ask.
We're
Answer?
all in.
Okay. Very good. We have a motion and a second. I believe. All in favor of approving the budget, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you very much, LaShawn. Thank you to your fine staff who's here tonight as well. We appreciate you all. Good public servants. Okay. Item 21 is an information item, which means we can just receive it. Okay, do we need a motion to receive it? Okay, it's deemed received. We now go to council comments. There are a couple, and then we will go from there. Sorry? And then adjourn in memory. Councilman Carr.
Yeah, just wanted to announce that the policy committee that ad hoc that we appointed a couple of weeks ago, we met Friday. And it was basically an organizational meeting. We'll be meeting every first Friday of the month until we finish.
Very good. Thank you. Councilman Harris.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few announcements here. The first is this Thursday, November 9th, we're going to have a groundbreaking for Oakbrook Park in South Natomas. It's at 10 a.m. at 3341 Soda Way. You know, this is really going to be the last city-built park that isn't financed by a community finance district. This is all city, and that means city maintenance and management, so it's pretty significant. It was promised to the community in 2010, and we're finally getting to it, and I'm very proud that we're going to be able to groundbreak out there, so I hope you can join us. We were talking about the Twin Rivers project, and there is a park involved in that project as well, and there's a meeting about the Twin Rivers Project Park, and that meeting is Thursday, November 9th also, but at 5:30 p.m. at Twin Rivers Community Center, which is 321 Eliza Street. The Gardenlands Northgate Neighborhood Association meets this Thursday, November 9th, also the same evening at 6:30 p.m. at Stanford Settlement. And lastly, the Do Love Live Veterans Day event, first time ever held, will be this Saturday, November 11th, beginning at 9 a.m. at McKinley Park, which is 601 Alhambra Boulevard, and we hope to see you there.
Very good. Thank you. Vice Mayor Jennings.
Two quick announcements, Mayor. This Thursday, November the 9th, from 8:30 to 9, we're going to spotlight a District 7 business called Rainbow Inn, and we want you to drop by and support their business. They've got great food and incredible coffee, so if you want to come by and say hello and support that business, we encourage you to do so. And then just want to mention, because I know a lot of council members, as well as you, Mayor, will be in attendance as well, this Saturday, November the 11th, will be the Veterans Day Parade. And it'll begin at 11. Everybody's going to meet on Capitol Mall between 3rd and 9th Street. And it's just going to be giving honor to our country's military personnel as well as all of our veterans. So we encourage you to come on out and support that parade. And I'll be driving the 73 Cougar. So I'm going to be waving from there.
Wow. Can I ride with you?
Anytime.
Okay.
Come on. I got room.
Councilman Guerra.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Looking forward to joining everyone at the 7th Annual Veterans Day Parade, also on Saturday. And also wanted to remind those folks that we still have the District 6 hotspots on Friday night at 7 o'clock at the George Sims Center. And save the date for November 18th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the Avondale Glen Elder Neighborhood Association Senior Luncheon. Again, that's the save the date is Saturday, November 18th at 11 a.m., 1 p.m. at the George Sims Community Center for the Senior Luncheon by Agena.
Love it. Councilman Chenier.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of announcements, and then I want to do an adjourn in memory. Tomorrow night, I want to give my congratulations to La Familia. They're doing a Burn the Mortgage party. It's from 5 to 7 p.m. at La Familia. Thursday, Lawrence Park Neighborhood Association meeting, 6:30 at Colonial Heights Library, and Fullertown's annual meeting at the Courtyard, also at 6:30. And then Monday night, as I announced last week, we're going to be doing a community meeting at the Pinnell Center to talk about the future use of the Florin and 24th Street site, 24th Avenue site. That's at 6:30 p.m. And we know we've talked about the potential for having that be a trio center for this winter, and also potentially for young people or youth and for seniors. So I want to do an adjourn in memory. On February 5th, 1938, in Orange, Texas, Mildred Jean Caesar Blackwell, also known as Peaches, was born. And I looked up Orange, Texas, because I wanted to see quite where it was, and I will tell you it's just down the road from Vinton, Deweyville, Mauriceville, Vidor, and Bridge City. So it is just a hub of activity right there in Texas. Somewhat close to Beaumont, somewhat close to Houston. Miss Blackwell really has become a matriarch, or had become a matriarch of the Oak Park community for many, many years. She moved here in 1944. She fell in love with Norman Robert Blackwell Sr. They were married April 25th, 1953. So when she passed, they'd been married for 64 years. A long time. They had 10 children, count them. Delilah Blackwell Sanders, Norman Robert Blackwell Jr., Jerlene Blackwell, Orlando Blackwell Sr., Michael Blackwell, Carla Blackwell, Rochelle Blackwell Fairley, Norma Blackwell, Dino Clark, and Tony Clark.
How many grandkids?
I can't read that many, quite a few. And people called her Peaches. She worked as a cleaner, seamstress, and cannery worker for many years. But really her main job was staying at home. She had 10 children. She and her husband played a huge role in the Oak Park community. And as I said, she was kind of the matriarch. She was known as the mother of Oak Park. And I've known her for a number of years now. Every event we did when we reopened McClatchy Park or whatever, she would always come. She was so proud of her neighborhood and proud of the folks in her neighborhood. She will be sorely missed. She's survived by her husband, many of her children, many of her grandchildren, many of her great-grandchildren, sisters, brothers, the whole clan. There will be a repast at the Oak Park Community Center Gymnasium this Saturday from 11 to 12:30, and then interment is at St. Mary's Cemetery on Fruit Ridge Road. And so we just want to give our condolences to the entire Blackwell family and to Oak Park. They've lost a great member of the community.
Memory of Peaches Blackwell. Thank you for sharing that, Councilman Chenier. Condolences to her family and the entire community. Nothing further to come before our City Council. We will stand in adjournment. Thank you. Yeah.